Hello dear children, today in English Reader we'll be doing Unit 8 Srinivasa Ramanuja.
My mama cooks in Italy, and mama swims in Atlantic.
And a very good morning to all my dear students. Hope you all are fine and safe. Today in English Reader again we'll be doing in the government textbook. So dear children, all of you open your textbooks on page number 65. This is your unit 8, lesson number 8. And the name of the lesson is Srinivasa Ramanuj. Today we are in this lesson, we are going to study about few of our Indian scientists that are not known by us. They were very known in their own times, but now we don't remember them much. But first of all, write today's date and classwork, 23/1/2021, and classwork. Now this is your activity 1. As I told you, we are going to study about or know about some of the scientists. Especially we will study about one scientist, how he became from his very early childhood when he was in village, how he got into the studies, then he went to Cambridge for the higher studies and he became a famous scientist, and he was very well known for some of his discoveries also. Now activity 1, numbers are fun. Let us play a game of numbers in pairs. To play this game, here are some steps to be followed. Now, because it is related to science and maths, there are certain who are scientists and certain who are mathematicians. मतलब कि कुछ लोग इसमें से जो हमको यहाँ पर नीचे पिक्चर्स भी दिखाए गए हैं, इसमें कुछ तो जो थे साइंटिस्ट थे और कुछ मैथमेटिशियन थे जिन्होंने मैथ्स के फील्ड में बहुत सारे खोज किए थे. Now here there is a number game to be played. Now we will also play the number game. Now suppose we take one number 8. यहाँ पर हमको एक नंबर लेना है 8. अब उसके बाद क्या करना है? Take any number, then ask your friend. See, step 1, ask your friend to think of a number. Step 2, tell him to add 7 to that number. Now supposing we have taken a number, it's 8. We have taken any number 8. Now we have to add 7 to that number. It becomes 15. What is step 3? Ask him to multiply and add the added number by 2 and then subtract 4 from that number. अब हमको इस नंबर से क्या करना है? 15 जो आया इसमें हमको 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करना है. That becomes 30 and minus 4. 30 minus 4 is equal to 26. Now what is the next step? Ask him to tell you that the number that we have arrived and. अब हमारे पास कौन सा नंबर आया? हमारे पास नंबर आया 26. Now last step, that is your step 5. Now divide this number by 2 and then subtract 5 out of that number. अब हमको क्या करना है? इस नंबर को 26 को हमें 2 से डिवाइड करना है. We will get 13 and now we have to subtract 5 from that. So 13 minus 5 is equal to 8. So we have got the number 8 that we have thought of. हमने जो नंबर 8 सोचा था वही नंबर 8 यहाँ पर हमको मिला है. आप कोई भी एक नंबर लेके आप ऐसे ट्राई कर सकते हैं. You can do this at home easily. Now next is your activity 2. Identify the famous scientists, name them and find out the information to complete the table. Now there's a table which is given on the next page. First of all, you can see there are 4 pictures of it. Now you can easily identify the scientist who was also called as the missile man. He was our president. He was our ex-president, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a very well-known scientist. First he was a scientist and then he became the president of our country. He is only the one who started the missile program in our country, and he is, of course, you might not be knowing, but he is Mr. Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, जो अहमदाबाद में रिसर्च सेंटर है वो इन्हीं के नाम पर है, and he is the person who established this research center. And then these two other, one is the mathematician, another is the scientist. They belong to south of India. Now let us write down in this table, which is on page number 66. This table we have to complete. Now one is Dr. First, see, I have given the number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So number 1 is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was aeronautical engineer and satellite launching. His research done was on satellite launching and his subject was aeronautical engineering. Then second is CV Raman. His subject was physics and he discovered, or his research was known as the Raman effect. जो research उन्होंने की थी उसको Raman effect के नाम से ही जाना जाता है physics में. This later on you will study in the higher classes. Number 3, the well-known scientist Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. His subject was also physics and his subject of research was nuclear. On the nuclear science he did his research. Next was number 4 is Venkat Ramakrishna. He biochemistry and biophysics. His subject was biochemistry and biophysics. These are the branches of the science. And what did he dealt with? He dealt with, or his research work was on atomic structure of ribosomes. Atomic structure of ribosomes that we study in the biology. Now is the activity 3. In activity 3 is the detailed information about the scientist Srinivasa Ramanujan, the man who lived with numbers. That means he was a great mathematician, Ramanuja. Srinivasa Ramanujan. Now we are going to read about his life history. Activity 3, Srinivasa Ramanujan, the man who lived with numbers. We celebrated the 125th birth anniversary of Srinivasa Ramanujan in 2012, inaugurating the year-long celebration at the University of Madras on December 26. Dr. Manmohan Singh declared 2012 as the National Mathematical Year and Ramanuj's birthday as the National Mathematics Day. A commemorative stamp in honor of Srinivasa Ramanuj was also issued on the occasion. Now, we celebrated 125th anniversary in the year 2012. मतलब 2012 में हमने जो है उनकी 125वीं बर्थ एनिवर्सरी को सेलिब्रेट किया था और उस साल जो है पूरा साल that whole year was celebrated as the National Mathematical Year, and this function was, or the celebration, year-long celebration was started in the University of Madras, and that time Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister of our country and he inaugurated this celebration, and he declared his birthday 26th December, his birthday, as the National Mathematics Day. And a commemorative stamp, मतलब a stamp, उनके याद में जो है एक stamp का भी जो stamp भी launch किया गया था on this occasion to remember him and in his honor. Once a mathematics period for class 8th was in progress in a small school in Tamil Nadu, any number when divided by the same number becomes unity, said the teacher. But sir, what if the number is 0? Now the story of the Srinivasa Ramanujan starts from here. When he was in class 8th and he was studying in a school in village, the teacher was explaining the maths. Then when you divide any number by the same number, you will get unity. That means 1 as the answer. Then Srinivasa directly at that moment only questioned the teacher, what will happen if the number is 0? Asked a thin dark-eyed boy leaving the teacher speechless. And when he asked that question, that time, what was the appearance of Srinivasa Ramanujan? He was very thin, dark-eyed, and very thin and very ordinary looking boy, and his teacher was speechless when he that teacher heard a question from him. वो टीचर का बहुत ही आश्चर्य हुआ और टीचर कुछ जवाब ही नहीं दे सकी जब उसने ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा. The boy was Srinivas Ramanuj, the mathematical genius who made extraordinary contributions to the mathematical analysis, number theory, infinite series, and continued fractions. Now, this boy was none other than the mathematician Srinivas Ramanuj, who later became a mathematical genius. मतलब कि mathematics का उनको इतना ज़्यादा knowledge था, इतना ज़्यादा, means he was in control of the maths, that he later found out many of the theories like mathematical analysis, then number theory है, infinite series, then continued fractions. ये सारी चीज़ों पे उन्होंने research किया और अपना एक theory बनाया. During his short lifetime of 32 years, Ramanuj independently compiled nearly 3,900 results, mostly identities and equations. So his lifespan was very short. He just lived for 32 years. That means at the age of 32 he died. But before that he independently, means अकेले ही उन्होंने जो है 3,900 results compile किए. Means he found out the results of 3,900 things. And what were the things related to? The things were related to identities and equations. These are all the things that comes in the maths in the senior classes. तो उस पर उन्होंने जो है रिसर्च करके 3,900 रिजल्ट्स जो थे उन्होंने फाइंड आउट किए. बॉर्न ऑन 2nd December 22nd, 1887 in a poor family in Erode, Tamil Nadu, Ramanuj was interested in maths right from the childhood. Now, Ramanuj was born in a very poor family in Erode, a district or small village in Tamil Nadu, and from his early childhood, he was very much interested in maths only. He demonstrated unusual mathematical skills at school, winning accolades and awards. By the time he was 14, he could solve problems in trigonometry which even the college students could not. Now, he was so much interested in maths from his very beginning that he had developed a lot of mathematical skills at the school only. Winning accolades मतलब उसको बहुत ही ज़्यादा तारीफ़ें मिलने लगी, बहुत awards भी मिलने लगे. और at the age of 14, when he reached the age of 14, he could solve the problems. Trigonometry is a branch of maths. तो उसमें जो है उसके बहुत सारे सम्स वो ऐसे सॉल्व कर सकते थे जो कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स भी सॉल्व नहीं कर पाते थे. वैसे सम्स वो he started solving that. Strange as it may sound, the schoolboy who stood first in his class and could teach trigonometry to students in his college was unable to secure pass marks in any other subject. Now, he was so much interested in maths and he was so good in maths that he could, at the age of 14, he could solve the problems which the college students were not able to do in trigonometry. But in other subjects he could only secure the pass. He was not able to, unable means he was not able to secure pass marks in any subjects also other than maths. That means he only passed in the maths and rest all the subjects he failed. When he entered college, he appeared 3 times for his FA examination but failed each time because he could not get passing marks in English. Now, he appeared 3 times for his exams so that he could pass, but every time he failed because he could not pass in English. Dejected by his college education in Tamil Nadu, Ramanuj wrote to G.H. Hardy, an acclaimed mathematician of his time at Cambridge in 1913, forwarding his research work. Impressed by his work, university admitted Ramanuj without an application in 1914. Now, he was very much depressed. निराश थे वो अपने result से because he could not pass his FA exams in the college as he could not get passing marks in the English. So, he was very much dejected and depressed. So, in 1930, he wrote a letter to at that time very famous mathematician of the Cambridge University in UK, London, and he forwarded his research work also, the research that he did on certain terminology and certain things in maths. Now, the mathematician that G.H. Hardy was very much impressed, मतलब कि वो बहुत प्रभावित थे, वो बहुत खुश हुए उसके वर्क को देखकर, और तुरंत ही उस वक्त यूनिवर्सिटी ने उनको एडमिशन दे दिया विदाउट एनी एप्लीकेशन और एनी basic formalities. In 1914 he became the student of Cambridge University. While at Cambridge he published many papers on a variety of topics. He also was elected to the London Mathematical Society. Now, when he was in Cambridge, he was studying in Cambridge, he published many of his papers or many of the topics, variety of topics पर उन्होंने research किया और अपने papers भी published किए. और he also became the member of the London elected, मतलब वो elect हुए London Mathematical Society के member के तरीके से भी. He became a fellow of Royal Society in 1918, the youngest one to do so. He also became the member, he became a fellow of the Royal Society in London. जो Royal Society in London है उसके भी वो fellow बने. These are all the honors which are given to the very genius persons in UK. तो वहाँ पर 1918 में वो सबसे छोटे youngest person to get this honor. He was elected for his investigation elliptical functions and the theory of numbers. Why was he elected as a fellow? Because he did the research work in the elliptical functions and the theory of numbers के ऊपर जो उन्होंने research की थी उसके वजह से उनको 1918 में वो fellow मिला था रॉयल सोसाइटी का. However, the strenuous work, inadequate food and loneliness took their toll on his health and Ramanuj fell in 1917. He returned to India in 1919 and he died on 26th of April 1920. बहुत ज़्यादा strenuous work means बहुत ज़्यादा hard work करना और inadequate food मतलब ठीक से खाना नहीं खाना और loneliness अकेलापन जो था ये उनके health को बहुत असर करने लगा और 1917 में he fell ill. In 1919 he returned to India and in 1920 he died on April of 26th of April. He died in India in 1920 at the age of 32 years. So he had lived for a very short period of time. His life was very short span, but he did a great research work that till now also we remember him. As a part of the year-long celebration to mark the 125th birth anniversary of Ramanuj, the Ramanuj Mathematical Society (RMS) held a series of activities that year. By his name, there's a society which is called as Ramanuj Mathematical Society, and on his 125th birth anniversary for the year-long, as a part of the year-long celebration, there were many functions were held or activities were held in that matter. A mathematician center name after Ramanuj was also set up in Chennai. एक mathematics का center भी चेन्नई में उनके नाम से शुरू हुआ, that is in Madras. It has a host of facilities including a museum. A documentary tracing the history of mathematics in India was also made. Now वहाँ पर जब वो उनके नाम का जो सेंटर सेटअप हुआ उसमें बहुत सारी फैसिलिटीज़ भी है, एक म्यूजियम भी है वहाँ पर और एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री पूरी जो मैथमेटिक्स का जो पूरा जर्नी है इंडिया पे उसके ऊपर पूरा एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री भी बनाया गया. Efforts will also be made to bring out the biography of Ramanuj by Robert Kengel under the title The Man Who Knew Infinity, A Life of the Genius Ramanuj in English. Now, there are efforts are also being made to get the biography. मतलब कि पूरा उनका जो लाइफ कैसा था उस लाइफ के ऊपर जो पूरा लिखा जाता है that is called as the biography. Autobiography मतलब खुद ही अपनी लाइफ के बारे में लिखना that is called as autobiography, and biography means किसी भी पर्सन के पूरे लाइफ के बारे में जब अगर हमको कोई जानकारी मिलती है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द बायोग्राफी. तो उनके ऊपर एक बायोग्राफी भी लिखने की कोशिश की जा रही है बाय रॉबर्ट केगेल जो जिसका टाइटल है द मैन हु न्यू इन्फिनिटी अ लाइफ ऑफ जीनियस. दिस इज द टाइटल ऑफ द बायोग्राफी in English. It is written in English only by an English person only. So matlab how great he was that the still Britishers or the English people are writing the biography on such a great legend. I think we should all be proud that our India has such a great mathematicians that the worldwide they are still known for their work that they did long back years ago. I think, dear children, we should all take the inspiration from the people like this because he had also come from a very humble background. He also came from the village. He studied in the village school only, but then too he had so much of determination to do something that he went to Cambridge. Ultimately, he got the admission to Cambridge, and the university themselves called them, invited, and gave the admission to him. So that much we should also get inspired to do something that the people should know our work that we have done. So it's a great inspirational story, and we should inspire and do something great like that. Now, dear children, there are some hard words and keywords also. First, we'll look at the keywords, which are your word meanings. Inaugurate, to officially open or start something. Commemorative, attempt to remember and respect an important person and or event in the past. Fraction, a small part or amount of something. Compile, to collect and bring together different items. Acclade, praise or an award for an achievement. Trigonometry, the type of mathematics dealing with sides, angles of triangles, and elliptical, this comes in the geometry. So dear children, these keywords you have to write it in your notebook 2 times, classwork 1 time, and homework also 1 time. Now are the hard words of this lesson. Srinivasa Ramanuj, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, CV Raman, Vikram Sarabhai, Venkataraman Ramakrishna, then speechless, mathematician, genius, analysis, extraordinary contributions, then anniversary and inaugurating university, then commemorative and continued fraction, independently, compiled, erode, demonstrated, acclodes, trigonometry, elliptical, strenuous, inadequate, loneliness, dejected, acclaimed, Cambridge, impressed, published, investigation, museum, documentary, and biography. These are the hard words that you have to write it in your notebook. Classwork 1 time and homework also 1 time. Dear children, we'll start with the textual exercise in the textbook, which is on page number 68. Now, these are answer the questions. What was unusual about Ramanuj at school? Ramanuj demonstrated unusual skills at school for mathematics. How he was different from the others at the age of 14? At the age of 14, he could solve the sums of the trigonometry which even the college students could not. Why was Srinivas rejected by his college education in Tamil Nadu? Srinivas was dejected because he was unable to secure pass marks in any other subject than maths. He appeared 3 times for his FA exam but failed to every time because he could not get the passing marks in English. Who was Rama, who saw Ramanuj's work in Cambridge? Why was his admission into the college unusual? G.H. Hardy, a famous mathematician, saw his work at Cambridge. His admission was unusual because the university admitted him without any application. What were the causes of Ramanuj's poor health at Cambridge? Strenuous work, inadequate food, and loneliness were the causes of Ramanuj's poor health. Now, complete the sentences. Ramanuj was a mathematical genius as he made extraordinary contribution to the maths and mathematical analysis, number theory, infinite fractions, and continued fractions. A mathematical society named after Ramanuj is Ramanuj Mathematical Society, RMS. Now comes the activity 4. Here you have to match the words. Match the words with column A with the opposites in column B. That means the opposite of these words are given in column B. First, we will read out the words in the column A: multiply, pass, short, birth, and begin. Column B, the opposites of the words are death, divide, end, fail, and long. Multiply, divide, pass, fail, short, long, birth, death, begin, end. So this way you have to match, and you can write also the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and ABCD. That way you can write and do it, or you can match like this also. Now use the words given in the column B in the blanks given below. Now these words that are given here, you have to use these words and fill in the blanks that are given here. There was a long queue at the exit gate at the end of the movie. The death of the president of society made everybody sad. We had to stand in long queue for tickets at the railway station. Mother said to her son, "You will fail in your exam if you do not study properly. Let us divide the class into four groups," the teacher said to her students. Now comes activity 5. You can see here there's a grid given. The alphabet grid is given here. In this you have to find some hidden verbs you have to find. That means certain action words are hidden here that you have to find. Activity 5. In the magic grid given below, there are 5 hidden verbs. Find and circle them, then use these words in the sentences given below. First, we have to find the words that are here, like spend, spent, told, told, HEARD heard, SLEPT slept, and WATCHED watched. You can see I have marked these words in the grid already. Now moving on to the next page. These words we have to use in the blanks now. My baby brother slept all through the functions. We often spend our time watching TV in the evening. I heard the sound of the blast while shopping in the market. Sheila told her mother that she would be late in returning home. The football fans watched the final of the match with a lot of expectations from their team. So we have used all these words. Activity 6. Study the following sentences. Note that the present perfect tense is formed by using has or have plus the third form of the past participle of the verb. Now, how is the past perfect tense formed? Present perfect tense is formed by using has or have first plus the third form of the past participle. That means have written, have lost. You can see the verbs that are written here in the past participle. These are the present perfect tense. I have written a poem. The word here will be written is a past participle form. Have और has के साथ past participle form of the verb हम use करके present perfect tense को बनाते हैं. I have written a poem. We have lost a lot of money. He has bought a beautiful vase. Now have का use आपको पता है I के साथ have आता है और plurals के साथ have आता है, singular के साथ has आता है. That tall girl has gone to Canada. Now here complete the sentences using the present perfect form of the verbs that are given in the bracket. Now you can see the words, that is action words, are given in the bracket. We have to change them into the present perfect tense and fill in the blanks. I dash eat a dozen oranges. I have eaten a dozen oranges. That means जो verb होगा वो कैसा होगा? Past participle होगा have और has के साथ. Either you have to use have or you have to use has. The plumber has repaired the taps. The word given is repair. The cobbler has mended my shoes. My friends have collected all the dry leaves. They have put them in the heap. The gardener will take them away. My friend has bought a gas balloon. Now, activity number 7 is fill in the blanks with the suitable phrasal verbs given in the box. So, what are the verbs that are phrasal verbs given in the box? Go off, go up, go down, go away, and go along. Now, with some modifications, we have to fill them in the blanks that are given here. Now, Chanakya has dash in the history of great statesmen, has gone down in the history of great statements. Go will change into gone everywhere except one or two places. My neighbors have gone away for a few weeks to the hills. We have some difficulty at first, but you will find it easier as you go along. The gun went off. ये go off की जगह क्या हो जाएगा? The gun went off by accident, but fortunately no one was injured. The price of petrol has gone up. Go up will become gone up. So go जो है एक जगह go along ही रहेगा और दूसरी जगह go का went हो जाएगा. बाकी सब जगह जो 3 जगह go यूज किया है वो gone में convert हो जाएगा. Now activity 8 we are not going to do. Activity 9 is your puzzle number. यहाँ पर 7 अप करना है, मतलब कि इसका और इसका जो है यहाँ पर 7 आना चाहिए, बीच में 7 लिखना है और around this balls you will write 1 4 5 6 3 and 2. This way you write the numbers 5 plus 2 7, 6 plus 1 7, 3 plus 4 7. और अगर इन सबको ऐड करेंगे 7, ये दोनों का 7 हुआ और ये 7 ऐड करेंगे तो 14 होगा, मतलब इस पूरी लाइन का टोटल 14 होगा. दिस वे दिस line total is 14 and this way line the total is 14. So dear children, with this we come to the end of unit 8 in the government textbook English. So everything that we have done right now, including these question answers, blanks, then word meanings, hard words, ये जितना भी हमने टेक्स्ट बुक में सब जो एक्सरसाइजेस किए हैं, everything you have to write it in your notebook also. Exercises, question answers and exercises in notebook one time, hard words and meanings in notebooks, classwork one time and homework one time. So dear children, till then we meet on the next turn with a new lesson in new book. Till then, I'm signing off for today. Bye bye and have a nice day.